Well, crap. Will you stay on the dang stand here? Alright. I'm going to try to knock out another one of these hot and readies. As long as I got daylight. Let's see if I got enough daylight to get through this. Right, you might have noticed, if you're paying attention and you're watching my playlist and getting music out of the playlist and stuff, I flipped it back around to where it's the newest music first. Also found a channel that does top 50. I think it's the top 50 of the, or maybe it's the whole 100. I don't know. It's the Hot 100, the Billboard Hot 100. And they do all the songs, a little sample of all the songs. So I may do some sort of reaction like to that if I can figure out a way to do that and film it. I'm sure I'll be copyright claimed on those videos, but it's alright, I don't make any money off this anyway, so. The other one that I found was I found a channel that does a breakdown of the Billboard Hot 100, and that's pretty interesting. So I've been putting those in there. I may get tired of it after a while, but I'll keep the newest one in the playlist there, so they usually should be closer to the top. Also other playlists, the alternative playlist and the adult alternative, I think is what it's called. But I'll be watching those charts to keep you informed. Why you wouldn't just go and watch them yourself, but I don't know. Hopefully you love my charming personality and you like to come to hear from my opinions. But let's get into it. We got a few more bands that I want to knock out. I want to do more of the mainstream stuff since I was talking about those chart videos. We'll do some more mainstream stuff here in a minute. But first, I want to talk about a band called Shad. And it broke my over a year old rule. It was actually over 2 years, but the reason it was significant and noteworthy is because I noticed it was featuring a band called the Licorice Quartet. And if you don't know who the Licorice Quartet is, it's basically Jellyfish. So, one of the best bands it's ever been. Another playlist. It's probably down farther because I don't really change it very often, but I have a good selection of Jellyfish and all of the related bands to Jellyfish, including Licorice Quartet. That's mainly, Jellyfish was mainly Eric and Roger's deal, and apparently they can't get along, so Eric Dover went off to sing for I think probably his biggest thing was singing for Slash on the It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere, the Slash's Snake Pit album. It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere. And I love that album. It had a lot of like rootsy, like Guns N' Roses-y stuff, obviously. But it was like Tesla meets Guns N' Roses meets Alice in Chains. Super great album. But so I've been following Eric Dover for a while. He was just the guitar player in Jellyfish, and that's the first band that he ever like sang lead for. But now he sings lead in his other bands. I can't remember the name of the one I like more than Licorice Quartet, but anyway, I got some of Roger. I think Manning or Manish. I can't remember his last name. Man, I should have done some research before I made this video, huh? Anyway, all of that stuff, all their solo stuff, all those side bands, and all the Jellyfish stuff is in a playlist called Jellyfish, etc. Obviously. Anyway, moving on. Other songs that I found recently that are on the more mainstream side, I guess you could say. POD has a new song. It's called "Afraid to Die," and wasn't terrible. It's kind of sing along. It's got that chanty. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but it's kind of Imagine Dragons-y. It's whatever. Stack that cash. Jump on the trends. That's what you got to do. Never thought they were anything special much anyway. Sorry, but they were kind of like fifth tier new metal, I guess, to me. But it's good to see they're still around. They always were positive influence, so whatever, good for them. Stack that cash. Speaking of which, there is new Imagine Dragons. It might make it onto my terrible song list, I'm not sure. It may just vanish into obscurity. Luckily, nowadays, we don't have the monoculture that we used to, so everybody's in their own little bubbles. So as long as I don't seek it out, maybe I can avoid having to deal with the new Imagine Dragons. A couple of things I want to say about a couple of videos ago. I made a mistake, so I want to correct what I said about two bands called, one called Orgasm and one called The Pill. And I think I flip-flopped. I've been dealing with so much music and so much going on in my head that I think I flip-flopped what genres that I said they were. Orgasm is the one that had the Fred Durst guest spot on it. And it is the one that's more industrial. They were more industrial. That song, I think I remember that song, so that's why I got confused. But it's a way more industrial sound. You listen to some of their other stuff, super, super heavy. The other band was The Pill. And they were the one that was more punk. Like her voice, the way her voice is produced in their music was real. Like, it's angry, but it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck kind of melancholy at the same time. But it's super punky, but like they at times have like really not technical, but like really tight, almost really tight metal riffs. I like The Pill a whole bunch. Hopefully I'll talk about them more, because there's more of their songs coming up. They're really amazing. In the last video I mentioned the Duran Duran song, and I kind of had a mind blank, and I forgot what I was trying to say about that. I wanted to talk about that song a little more. Dance Macabre. Music is really, really dark, which is cool for Duran Duran. It's got just an ominous tone, and the keyboards are real, like, grating, and like that way how the piano in Halloween is, where it's ding, 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 ding. Just kind of grating, but the vocals are super, super, super pop, and overproduced pop, like in a good way, overproduced in a good way. The verses were totally... Remember that song from the 80s by M called Pop Music? Pop, pop, pop music. The way the verses are in that song, it reminded me of that. It's kind of One Night in Bangkok. Remember that song from the 80s? It's kind of that. All of those are kind of, the cadence of the vocals is almost Give Peace a Chance by John Lennon, the way he does the, if you think of that One Night in Bangkok song, it's basically Give Peace a Chance. Anyway, that's the Duran Duran song. I just wanted to mention more about that. Let's get into some of the super mainstream stuff that's actually on the charts right now, so I can just bump them off my playlist and not have to worry about them for a few months. This last Taylor Swift album, the Poets fucking Society thing, whatever. She has dominated. She's been dominating the charts. It's almost like it's almost not even fair. The way they do streaming now, when you put out an album, everybody was just listening to all of it. So she had like the first 14 spots on the Hot 100 charts, and just recently, just this week or last week, I can't remember, Sabrina Carpenter bumped her on the first two. I like Sabrina Carpenter. I feel like Ariana Grande making her big comeback this year was a little thwarted by Sabrina. I think it's pretty much it's the same music. It's the exact same. Her aesthetic is almost exactly the same, and why now it's Sabrina Carpenter's turn to be the main pop girl, but she either she's kind of shutting Ariana Grande out. I think her songs are doing real good on whatever's left of terrestrial radio. And obviously she's going to have a big following on streaming, but I don't know, I'm kind of getting tired of Sabrina Carpenter real quick. Actually, I think I talked her up a couple of videos ago, and I'm getting real tired of it. So, whatever. The other guy that I think is going to have the song of the summer is Shaboozey. If you haven't heard of Shaboozey, he's got a song called Tipsy, which it's the perfect cross section of dumb and catchy and mainstream, like culturally enough to have the song of the summer. Unfortunately, I think Tipsy's going to be the song of the summer. Luckily, I'm not working as much at the bar that I won't have to hear it all the time. But I think it's going to be. He mentions the bar. It's basically the hook of that old "everybody in the club getting tipsy." He basically says that same thing. It's kind of being. It's kind of like the pop version of what I've mentioned about the genreless music. It's just the right amount of hip hop and the right amount of country and the right amount of pop and the right amount of just bullshit rolled into one that I don't know. I can't say any more about that. I'm sure I'll get back to it, but let's move on for now. Charlie XCX new album kind of got a lot of hype right when it came out, but I don't know if she's having the hits or not. She's kind of missing her turn. Sabrina and Taylor Swift and all these other people are kind of she's better as an underdog anyway. I'll get into more detail about Charlie XCX because I love her so much. My daughter told me about, and I learned about it, obviously, from pop music, but Chapel Roan is another one that we need to talk about. She's getting her chance. She's doing some really good stuff. Her music's okay. I'll do some more in-depth analysis of it. Another one that is really huge right now is Tate McRae. She's really shooting up there. She's a trained dancer, so her videos will make you tired just watching them, but they're worth watching though because her music is catchy and she is hot as shit. She's got kind of a butter face. Actually, that's not really fair. She's pretty, but she's got a weird looking face. She doesn't have traditionally beautiful looks, but her body is smoking, and her music is catchy. So whatever. Do with that as you will. I wanted to mention Debbie Friday. She's not near in the league of all of these more pop diva chart toppers, but she's really amazing. I discovered her from some playlist, I think, somewhere. But she uses a lot of effects and like, I don't know if she's actually looping or not, but she uses a lot of effects, and her music is really interesting. Katy Perry just put out a new song, I think. I think it finally dropped. I'm not sure. I can't even remember. I haven't listened to it yet. Kind of scared. I didn't really give her last album a chance, and neither did anybody else in the world. So this may just come and go like the rest of them. But I'm pulling for her. You know, I always loved the Katy Perry. So Kat Von D has music out. Shows you how easy it is to do stuff nowadays, especially if you got a famous name. She did a couple of songs a couple of years ago with Gunship that were all right. I thought it was cool that she was kind of hooked up with those guys. Gave them a little bit of a boost and give her music career a little bit more legitimacy. I don't know what to think of her as a person. She's blacked out all her tattoos, and I think it's for some kind of religious reason. So if she's turning into some kind of Jesus freak or whatever, I don't want much to do with her. But if she's making cool, gothy, industrial kind of music, I can deal with that. No Name, I think I've mentioned before. I tried watching her Tiny Desk concert, and man, that girl is like, it just gives me anxiety. I can't really listen to too much of it in a row. She's got, when she's just saying words faster than I could even comprehend what she's saying. I don't know how she does it. And she's just got crazy eyes while she's doing it. Like, just gives me anxiety. It's amazing, amazing stuff if you can sit through it. That's all the girls for now. One guy I want to mention, a couple of guys I want to mention. Benson Boone is tearing up the charts, and I was blown away when I first heard him. But that name, I thought it was going to be country, and it is far from it. I think he benefited from being Taylor Swift's opening act at some point on her Eras tour here in the last year, and he is absolutely amazing. He's got this high range that he just sings up there in that range that just resonates perfectly with me because of my love of prog rock and hairband stuff. It's not that. It's really poppy and more on the rock side of pop, actually. Another one that I liked a whole bunch is Courtney Barnes. Which way does it go? Barnes Courtney. I thought that was going to be a country name too, but it's more pop. It's a little more, I guess I say Maroon 5. It's more like Maroon 5 with just a tiny little bit of like Mark Ronson thrown in there, I guess. I don't know. I really like it. I really like this genre of all these It's a bunch of pretty boys doing like this straight rock music, and some of them are getting some mainstream success out of it. Youngblood is the first one that I heard that did that kind of thing. He is more of a rapper, but he's been doing that for a few years, and I really liked his stuff. His big thing right now, he's been doing a bunch of covers. I heard him do a cover of God Only Knows, and a cover of the Cranberries' Linger, and on the new Fall Guy soundtrack, he does a cover of Kiss's I Was Made for Loving You, which is a lot of fun. Another guy named Bones, Bohnes, Bones, he's another one that's kind of doing that pop, but heavy, rockish kind of thing. He's a little more on the main, like, I don't know how big he's getting, but his style is he's really trying, pushing the overly catchy pop production type of thing a whole bunch. I also want to mention, get it out of the way, is the Kendrick and Drake feud, diss track feud thing that's happening. And I only want to mention that because it's universally agreed that Kendrick destroyed Drake, which makes me so happy because I freaking hate that guy. I don't know if I hate his music, and the more I learn about him, the more I hate Drake. And taking down the king like that just makes Kendrick might be the best. Kendrick might be the best ever. And anybody that didn't know him before knows who he is now. And watching the charts, the Kendrick songs are the only ones that are staying relevant. So that's great. That the Drake stuff is falling completely off the charts, and Kendrick is still out there slaying. And to be weird, you want to talk about hip hop artists kind of losing their mind right now. Andre 3000, apparently his last album was 73 minutes of easy listening jazz sax stuff, which is bizarre. Okay, whatever. And I also heard, please tell me whether it's true or not, I'm not sure, I didn't care enough to even go and look it up before I started filming this, but Lil Jon's new album is a whole album of guided meditation, which, okay, it's not the weirdest thing that's even happened this year, so namaste. Okay. Guess we'll just leave it there. This one's getting a little long, so